It'll happen.
You need to do that. So do we have a question or two from the house? Fair warning, these folks are generally a whole lot smarter than I am. Yes, sir, right here.
There was originally another guitar player in the Police.
Really?
Did you ever do any shows with both of you together? And the other part of the question is, what was it that made you decide that you wanted to be the only guitar player in the band that you were in?
Good question.
Play with another guitar player.
Well, that was a decision would have applied to any band, actually. It wasn't just this band. We actually did, I think, 2 shows with Henry Padovani. It didn't work, and I think the other 3 of us felt that. And, yeah. I mean, it's a difficult moment to talk about because, we all actually really liked Henry and, we played with him in Paris a few years on the reunion tour. But my thing was, Sting Stewart wanted me to be in the band. I'd spent a lot of time with him at that point, but I said, the only way I would even think about it was if I'm the only guitar player. I want to play in a trio. Very difficult to make 2 guitars work. I mean, some people do it, but
What is it about the 3-piece format that is so attractive to you?
Well, I like soloing over just the bass and drums because you can harmonically suggest so much. It's such a beautiful open palette. I really like that. I think a lot of people come to it. I think it's the most powerful group, the trio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oddly enough, the Police was the first real trio I'd been in. So it was, I'd want to be in a trio,
Yeah.
And so if you want me in it, there's only going to be me.
Yeah.
And I certainly felt that I could cover it, I wasn't a weak guitar player, I could do it.
I think it turned out okay.
Well, working on it.
Just FYI, do we have another question? Yes, sir, right here.
Was it difficult coming out on the biggest band in the world, and when that ended, were you relieved or were you scared?
No, I was sort of crushed, actually.
Is it hard to move on because, anything you do after that, you're comparing to the old band?
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, my memory of it was that I spent the next sort of 2 years sort of drifting around, sort of lost. It was a tremendous experience to process and get over, as you might imagine, because we'd all been together with a huge entourage for about 8 years, and suddenly it's not there anymore. So that's very, very disturbing and kind of lonely, actually. And there were still a lot of people around me, but the thing wasn't there anymore. The way I, eventually got over it was going back to the studio and starting to make records again. It's always the same thing, and I expressed this a lot in the book. The one thing that you've got through all this upheaval is the instrument. And you keep going back and you still end up staring at the guitar neck and still working stuff out. It's really the savior. Music is the salvation in the end. And I just got back into music and making my own records and writing and everything. And that's what put me, on the road to freedom, as it were.
Is there a moment, this may be a hard question, but is there a moment, stage, studio, somewhere along the way, that just completely stands out for you in all of those years with the Police as most memorable?
Oh God, there's so many. I mean, we thought, well, that's it. That's the highest we'll ever get. And then there was another one. We just went up again. I mean, I can't actually pick one out. I suppose when we went to #1 in the US was a major moment. When we went to #1 in the UK, the first time was thrilling. But I remember playing, on the reunion tour in Buenos Aires and Rio, amazing, and all of it was. Some of those shows were so outstanding, incredible life experiences. I mean, that night in Rio, we played to over 80,000 people, and they all had their shirts off, and it was just incredible. Yeah. Just amazing stuff like that. I mean, they're sort of endless. Mm-hmm. It was all great.
We had we had Stewart here two or 3 years ago, and one of the things he said, and it kind of stuck with me, and I'm wondering if you feel the same way. He felt some of the most interesting moments on stage with the band is when a song would go sideways a little bit. Somebody would miss a bridge, somebody would go too quickly to a chorus, or whatever it might be, and you guys finding your way back in the moment.
Those are called fuck-ups. It happens, I mean, we're pretty good. the thing is the bigger you get, the more orchestrated it becomes. Until you end up, you're not that far from Las Vegas. You got lights. You got to hit the mark. You got to work all this shit out. I mean, it's very precision. Particularly on the reunion tour. I mean, if people go, "Oh, it's just a rock band." It was absolutely precision. You had to be very together and thinking all the time. Supposed to be playing great, supposed to be loose, but it's absolute precision because you're moving with the lights. It's a show,
Right.
So there's not a lot of room for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Within the songs, you can, let's say, be expressive, but there's not a lot of room to get it wrong because you fuck everyone else up. Everyone goes like sideways.
Yeah.
It did happen occasionally, like somebody goes to the chorus too early or something,
Right.
and they light to go. Everyone's in black, and there's supposed to have been all lights there. Like, what happened? I mean, there were these moments like, oh God,
Yeah. Well,
and keep smiling.
all I can say is,
Or look at the other guy and go, you fucked up. No wonder it was you. Yeah.
all I can say is, and I said this to you when you were standing over here.
Yeah.
I'm sure this reminds many of us here and myself of what an experience that band was, and the catalog, and the remarkable songs, and the feelings that they bring out in people. We could not be more pleased that you've come to bring the film and talk to us about it. It's just
Great
terrific.
to be here. Yeah.
And I know that, you're going to be out in our retail store signing.
Yes.
Yes?
Yep,
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, please thank Andy Summers.
Thank you.